In this video, we're going to be talking about solving a quadratic inequality. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get it set with 0 on the other side. So we're going to compare it with 0. So if there's anything on the other side, we're going to move it back over there with the rest of the stuff so that we can have 0 on one side. Then we're going to factor, which we've done before, and we will find the x-intercepts. Remember that if you have a less than or greater than sign, you use an open dot. If it's less than or equal or greater than equal, you use the closed dot. We will discuss if it's opening up or down, because these are parabolas. And remember, it's opening up if the leading coefficient in front of the x squared term is positive. If that's negative in front of the x squared, then it's negative and it goes down. Okay, and then we'll sketch it and fill out the number line. Okay, so let's look at this first one. We've got x squared minus 10x is less than negative 24. So I'm going to add 24 to both sides. And that will give me x squared minus 10x plus 24 is less than 0. So we've compared it with 0 now. We're going to factor this thing. So I look at a times c. Well, the a is just 1, so I just look at the c, which is 24. Factors of 24 that multiply to get 24 but add to get negative 10. It's going to be negative 6 and 4. So this will factor into x minus 6 and x minus 4. And if we set both of these equal to 0, we will find the x-intercepts. And that's x equals 6 and x equals 4. So we can go to, on the number line, we can put a place at 4, and we can put a place at 6. And we also know, since it's just less than 0, it's not less than or equal to, and these are going to be open dots. An open dot there, and an open dot there. Now, this parabola, since the leading coefficient is positive, it's positive 1, it's going to open upwards. So it's going to look sort of like this. Okay, so we can see that if it's asking us what is less than 0, that's underneath. So it's underneath between 4 and 6. So our region is going to be this right here. And if you were wanting to write it in exponential or interval notation, it would be from 4 to 6, not including those endpoints because they're open dots and because it's got just the less than sign. All right, let's look at the next one. So we've got x squared is less than 2x. So we move the 2x over. Okay, so that's x squared minus 2x is less than 0. Okay, this one is not going to be factored using the AC method. This one, we just look at these and say, okay, what can I factor out? They both have an x to give. So I take out an x, and I get x minus 2 as a result. Okay, and I set both of these equal to 0 to find the x-intercepts. That one's already done. This one, we move the 2 to the other side, it becomes 2. So we have one at 0, and we have one at 2. Okay. Now, it is asking us, where is x squared minus 2x less than 0? Less than 0. Okay, so we know the graph looks like this because it's got a positive coefficient in front of the x squared term, saying it's less than 0, so that's this middle stuff here. And since there's no line under the inequality sign, then these are going to be open dots. Okay, let's look at this last problem. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go ahead and put a line underneath that. So that problem is going to be x squared is greater than or equal to negative 6x. So x squared less or greater than or equal to negative 6x. We move the 6x over by adding. So we get x squared plus 6x equals, or not equals, is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Again, we just factor out an x, and that leaves x plus 6 as a result. So x equals 0, and x plus 6 equals 0, which yields x equals negative 6. Okay. So we have negative 6, and we have 0. Since there's a line underneath, because we put it there at the beginning of the problem, these are going to be solid dots. Solid dots. Okay. And we know that the parabola, now that we got it in this form, is positive. It's opening upward. So the parabola will look kind of like this. Okay, and it's asking us where is this thing greater or equal to 0. So that's these outside portions. That's where we're above, right? So we would shade in this part and this part with solid dots. If you wanted to write this one in interval notation, it would be from negative infinity, the parentheses, to -6. We include that, so we put a bracket, union, include the 0 as well, solid dot, to infinity with a parentheses.